In this video, I want to tell you guys about split testing. Now, why is split testing important? You could have an incredible listing, you could be selling a ton of products, and it's a set it and forget it kind of listing. But you know what? You could be potentially leaving some money on the table. Even though your product may be doing well, there's always room for improvement, and it may not always be simple to spot, or you may set up your listing based on your own preferences, but it really pertains to what the data says about how to best optimize your listing. And that's where split testing comes into play. So let me give you an example of the tool that I use. This is Splitly, and if we go down here, it has the different price plans. I personally do the $97 a month plan, and that's just because I can run multiple tests at once, 10. If you only have a couple of products, you only need to get this $47 per month, do 3 tests. Now, there's many different things that you can test or split test in your listing. You can split test bullet points, you can split test the title, you can split test the images, you can split test the pricing, you can even split test the back-end keywords. So many different things. And what's surprising though is when you split test some of these things, what you personally think might be the better option many times is not the better option. That's why you can't just go off your gut instinct all the time. You need to see and trust what the data says. So let me give you an example of 2 different split tests I did, and you can see kind of how it impacted my business. So here's the first one, and this one we ran with the goal as to profit. Now there's different goals you can have. You can have conversion rate, you can have profit, sessions. I care about profit, all right? So with this product, I wanted to see what price sold better, made me more money, $11.95 or $12.95. And so I set this into action, and how Splitly works is it changes your price every day. So one day would have $11.95, the next day would have $12.95, the next day would have $11.95, and it would go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. That way, if the first 4 days of the week sell well and the second 4 days of the week don't sell well, it wouldn't be that good of a split test. So having an alternate like that is excellent for when it comes to getting a really balanced split test. So we see here, average daily sales, the $12.95 one got quite a bit more. Looks like it's close to 57.5 sales per day, whereas $11.95 got 45.75 sales. And how did that reflect in the profit? We see here, average daily profit for the $12.95 was $265.59, whereas the $11.95 was $155. So that's a $100 difference. We see here, if we keep going down further, this split test actually didn't take too long before it was a clear winner. 4 days on of the $11.95, 4 days for the $12.95. And here's the total amount of sales, 183 versus 230. And here's a big number right here, 1,062 versus 622. We see here all the increases. Daily sales average 26% up, daily conversions 26% up, and daily profit 71% up. Now, why is this interesting to me? Is because I was selling at $11.95 and my competitors were around, a little bit less than me. I was already a little bit higher than them. And I was thinking, there's no way that if I jump this to $12.95 that customers will want to buy it still. But you know what I said? What do I got to lose? So I set up the split test, and what do you know? I made over $100 more per day. And over that, about 8-day time frame? I made about $400. So that's one example, testing price. Let's look at another one. Now this one was also, the goal was profit. And in this listing, I had multiple products in the main image. And so I had like a standard picture of them. And then I also had a gradual picture where they kind of like increase in size in the image. So I wanted to split test the main image. Now we see here the average daily sales is it's pretty close, 7.4 to 6.1. But look what that meant for profit. Average, $107 for the gradual main image and $57. It's $50 more. When we go down here, average daily sessions, this is just how many people actually clicked on the listing. The standard one actually got a little more clicks, but that did not result in more sales. And of those clicks, you can see that the gradual one had a higher conversion rate than the standard. So if you notice here though, how many days did it take for this one to go? 44 days for it to go. That means This was pretty close for a while, but finally a winner was found. And in those 44 days, how did it reflect on my profit? 4,700 versus 2,500. However, even though I made more money, the daily sessions, or how many people clicked on my listing, went down, and also how many people even saw my listing went down slightly. But again, profit went up 87%. It went on for an average $107 profit versus $57 profit. So split testing is huge. I recommend that you're always split testing something on your product. And even though you may think that the one is better than the other, whether it's a price, whether it's a picture, whether it's a bullet point, something like that, the data, when it comes back, may prove you wrong. And according to Splitly, because I've been doing the split tests on my account for so long, they estimate that I've made an extra $148,000 compared to if I never would have ran any split tests. Now, one last key point that I want to say is when you're running split tests, only check one thing at a time. If you are checking main image, split testing that, while also checking bullets, while also split testing price, it's going to be really hard to deduce what's really making the difference. So do your main image, yes, maybe it takes a month. Then do your price, then maybe that takes a month. Then do maybe your bullets, and maybe that takes a month. Or maybe you're on the main image and that takes 3 weeks, and then you find another main image that you wanted to test. Try that. Or pricing, like for this one, I did $11.95, $12.95. Well, now I'm going to split test it $12.95 and $13.95. Why not? So this is just a little bit more in the mindset of you have a product going, you have a great listing, but how can you get even more sales out of it? I highly recommend using Splitly. Check the link below the video and start optimizing your listings.